Okay, shalom, shalom. First and foremost, may all praise and honor go to Yahweh Shemel Shah, and the ones, the others, and the apostles of Great Millstone, but do rule and teach well. So today, I just want to get into pretty, quick lesson. I gotta get ready to go take this dog out real quick. I just want to get into something, really quick. So this is 2nd Esdras chapter 4. I start at verse 25. What will he then do unto his name whereby we are called? That these things have I asked. Alright, so pretty much they're just asking, when is the Lord going to do something to protect his name? Because you see in the 24th verse, he's talking about their lives are unfair. You have to remember in Ezra's time, I know certain things about the history. I know that they were getting attacks and stuff, and they had to have patrols. And I believe it was Ezra who set all that up, or it might have been Nehemiah. But in one of those books is written, they had to be stopped building, which happened before. I think that happened before Ezra came down. I believe so, or it might have been before Nehemiah came down. Fact check me, but they had to stop. They had to be stopped building. I'm just gonna speak generally that they were stopped building. I believe it was Sambalot. I can't forget the other guy's name. I think it was Emaniah. They stopped them from building. These are two heathen, by the way. They stopped them from building. They basically sent a message, and I believe the Persian ruler was Cambyses at the time, and he basically said, "Oh, look at these guys, these Israelites. These guys are, they have mighty kings of old. These guys are fighters. These guys are rebellious. Stop these guys. Don't let them grow. Don't let them build, because they either wanted to build with us, and we basically told them, no, leave us alone." So they did that as their form of get back. As their form of revenge. For us not wanting to build with them. The same way they, lash out at us, for not wanting to, include them, within this truth. Us not wanting to include all the nations, and that's why, they take our videos down, they do this, they do that, so on and so forth, and they whine and complain, they come up here, but that goes into the scriptures. We fight against spiritual wickedness in high places, psyops, and demons, and actual literal demons, by the way, and stuff like that. Verse 25, what will he then do unto his name whereby we are called? Which goes back to the name. What is the name? Yahweh. Okay, and that's the name whereby we are called. Another level, Yahweh Shai. Okay, and you can just go into all the scriptures revolving around the name if you want to do a breakdown. Of these things have I asked. They answered me and said, the more thou searchest, the more thou shalt marvel, for the world heasteth fast to pass away. So the word for world in this scripture would be ion. Okay, it would be ion. Okay, it would not be like a many, because this age, this time is hasting to pass away. Doesn't mean that the world is going to pass away and the world is going to be over and be destroyed forever. I mean, on one level you could say, oh, the literal world is going to pass away, but it's not going to be destroyed. It's not going to be like the end of the world, and the world is just going to be like, Earth itself is just going to be like a fucking crater. It's going to be like destroyed. There's going to be great destruction, but it won't be completely destroyed. Okay, so I'm here on YouVersion, Bible.com here. So yeah, if you live long enough, right, 2 Esdras 4:26, if you live long enough, you'll be surprised at what you will see, because this age is rapidly passing away. Alright, so that's your proof. Even they agree. Okay, verse 27, and cannot comprehend the things that are promised to the righteous in time to come, for this world is full of unrighteousness and infirmities. Now, that makes me think of this one. I heard GMS Sagala, bring this one out. Alright, for the Lord recompenseth, and will give thee 7 times as much. Alright? Like I'll speak here. Give unto the Most High according as he has enriched thee, and as thou hast gotten, give with a cheerful eye. Right? So whenever you give alms, whenever you give, say if you give something to, the camp, if you give money, donate money to the camp, give it with a cheerful eye. Don't, give it and you just kind of, if you're going to give something, give it willingly and give it, cheerfully. Don't be like, if you're going to be like that, then don't give anything. All right. And there's other forms of sacrifices, because we don't literally sacrifice. Right now, we're not going to have to sacrifice for sins or anything like that anyway. But certain things like the Passover, like first fruits, things like that, those kinds of, offerings, things like that are going to come back. But we're not going to have to do sin sacrifices because we're not going to sin anymore. I'm pretty sure for like the Day of Atonement, I'm pretty sure that's going to be kept. We're going to do that and have to do the whole. I think there's a sacrifice that goes with that. You kill the one goat and you let the other goat go free. The lot, which the goat that is slave represents Yahushua, and the goat that goes free represents Israel. So yeah. For love recompensive, and will give thee 7 times as much. So the things that you sacrifice in this truth, whether it be friends, lovers, this, that, so on and so forth, right? For your sacrifices, the Lord will give you 7 times as much. Okay. Right? So you cannot comprehend the things that promise the righteous in time to come. Okay? That's the kingdom. So actually, I can just do this and that'll help me. Remember, so I know, in time to come, which is the kingdom, for this world is full of unrighteousness and infirmities. Okay, so this world is age, is full of unrighteousness and infirmities. And we know that's what it is, right? So let's go look at that again. So, 27. This age is so full of misery and imperfection that it cannot hold all the blessings that the Most High has promised the righteous in time to come. That's right, we can't have the kingdom yet. This world is so corrupt. This age is so corrupt, it's so filthy, and so, soaked, so saturated with sin. So much sin saturates this age that it's impossible for us to have the kingdom right now. The Lord can't give us the kingdom right now. Not with all this filth and this degeneracy that thrives in this world. This world has to go. The kingdoms of the earth have to perish. Then the kingdom will be put upon earth. It'll be like a reset, so to speak. Then we'll be the ones to rule. But we're not going to have our kingdom on this side, in these weak fleshly bodies. This world is saturated with so much sin, and look at us, man. We're in these sinful fleshly bodies, and we're all fucking soaked up right up in here with them, man. You don't think that has an effect on us as well? Us being in these sinful bodies as well as a sinful vibration of this place. Sinful vibration of this age. Like it's everywhere. It's fucking everywhere. Yeah. Okay, so yeah. Let's consider the things where thou askest me, I'll tell thee, for the evil soul, but destruction is not yet come. Right, consider the things where thou askest me, I'll tell thee, for the evil soul, but destruction is not yet come. So the evil soul, okay, meaning going back to Adam in the garden, that was evil being sown, being placed in within us, death reigning, so on and so forth, which you can get out the scriptures. But you have Romans 8:20 that goes into that the creature is given unto vanity, which we are still given to vanity unto this day, and we will be, gotten out of that vanity, through faith and getting those new bodies, the heart, take away our stony heart, we get a new heart. Laws and inward parts, and uh, so on and so forth. You can go look that up for yourself. It's all across the scriptures. It's an Old Testament, it's in the New Testament. For that which is sown be not turned upside down, the place where the evil is sown pass not away, then it cannot come that is sown with good. Alright, so pretty much, if the evil is not made upright in a place where the evil is sown, pass not away, pretty much these kingdoms of the earth, alright, they cannot come that which is sown was good, then, the kingdom can't come on earth, basically. But here's a breakdown. If you want a deeper breakdown, go 2 Peter 6:9, and you'll get your breakdown for that. Really, 2 Peter 6:9 could really go to the 26th verse. Verse 30, for the grain of evil seed hath been sown in the heart of Adam from the beginning, and how much ungodliness hath it brought up unto this time, and how much shall it bring forth unto the time of threshing come. Okay, so that evil, think about that evil that went from Adam's time, right? The scriptures talk about Noah, and all those times, right? But that's Second Peter, the 3rd chapter. You can go get into all that, right? There's other scriptures. I think in Matthew 24, there's as was the flood to Noah, so shall this be, this time when he returns, when Yahshua returns. So it's the same likely, the same similitudes to those times, So think about that. Think about how much evil and sin has just grown from those times back then up until our time now, right? And how much sin will yet come forth, right, into the time of threshing, because there's still time that needs to pass into the time of threshing, which is basically, there you go. You can go to the threshing floor. The scriptures of place of separation or revelation. And this is from momshope.org. A place where the harvest was prepared by separating the grain from the useless straw for the purpose of exposing and collecting the most valuable part of the crop. Alright, so once the harvest is gathered, the practice of threshing begins with intentional destruction. This technique typically involves crushing the crop under the weight of a sledge or grinding wheel attached to the heavy hooves of oxen. Next, the mixture was tossed into the air, allowing the wind to separate the straw from the seed. This process carried the lighter part, the straw, and allowed the seed to fall and collect to the ground. Alright, so that's what that is. You gotta think about that too. It starts with intentional destruction. So what's intentional destruction? Us being chastened on this side, us having to go through trial and tribulation, gold being tried in the furnace, so on and so forth. That's meant to separate the useless straw, i.e. 2/3 wicked Israelites, those people who are not meant to make it to the kingdom on the first round trip, from the grain, which represents the one of that number, the hopeful elect, those that still carry some use. We know that the scripture says, this is the end of the whole matter, that a man keep the commandments and fear the Most High. That's a man's life role. And if you're not doing that, you're basically useless straw, in other words. So that's what threshing means. Threshing is just a similitude to judgment and separation, separating the righteous from the wicked, so to speak. Which really, no one's really righteous on this side 100%, but really the people who are trying from the people who are just, just wicked. So yeah, that's pretty much that. I wanted to bring out that breakdown. You can go to that website if you want. So yeah, the one you're edified, and I'm going to say shalom.